we are Group 10, and this is our video presentation for Scientific Inquiry, and this is our group Maths. So this is the contents of our research and our video presentation today. The title of this research is Gender Stereotype in Society, which is the difference and its effects on individuals and career choices. Okay, to start with, the background. As we know that gender stereotyping is a generalized perception attributed to the gender of the individual. It is very biased and often are related to societal norms and beliefs and are driven by old cultures and traditions. The objective of our research is to find out which gender receives more stereotype in the society, to better understand the consequences of gender stereotypes as how deeply it affected individuals, to investigate whether gender stereotypes affect one's career choice. As for our hypothesis, we hypothesize women are more subjected to more stereotypes compared to men. And if gender stereotyping carries on, then the society unable to shape an open-minded generation. And lastly, gender stereotypes affect one's career choices.
So this is our literature review, which is a summary based on articles we found online, which gives us an overview of the current knowledge on gender stereotype. So these are the 6 articles that we found online that has helped us to write our literature review. In our literature review, we examine how gender stereotypes contribute to social gender disparities of men and women. We also discuss how gender stereotypes contribute to the formation and perpetuation of such disparities by causing individuals to perceive males and females differently, and how it shapes their individuality. In this paper, we also focus on the impacts of both descriptive gender stereotypes and prescriptive gender stereotypes on one's career in their workplace. Everything we discuss in this literature review aligns with our research objectives and questions.
In this research methodology, it designs the outline of its group project on the topic of gender equality, including its sampling, research instrument, data analysis, and its data collection. Research instruments are measurement tools, for example, questionnaires or skills designed to obtain data on a topic of interest from research subjects. To prove gender stereotyping issues in our organization need to be focused on and getting more attention from all perspectives in the community or government. Our group, which consists of 5 members, have conducted a research by doing a literature review. Another instrument used is the online survey, where it is used to obtain more information and different understandings from every individual who had answered the survey. The data analysis of this research was mostly represented in a quantitative manner. The data was also presented in the form of pie charts. By using the presentation of the pie charts, we could easily evaluate the data. To test the hypothesis of the research question, the data is evaluated using percentages in the pie charts. For the data collection, a survey to collect data from people is necessary and considered as the primary data collecting method for this research. The questionnaire is to be prepared online using Google Forms as a tool. These questionnaires contain both closed-ended and open-ended questions related to the research title. Not leaving behind the qualitative methods, open-ended questions were also used in the survey to form public's uninfluenced opinions on issues regarding the research title, such as their opinions on how to resolve this issue.
Hi, my name is Darren, and I'm going to briefly explain about Chapter 4, which is Findings and Discussion. So this is our demographics of respondents. 96.8% of our respondents are range in between 15 to 24 years old, and 51.6% of our respondents are females, and 48.4% of them are male. And the next one, Research Question 1. How do men and women differ in gender stereotyping in society? Our hypothesis is women are more subjected to gender stereotypes compared to men. We have come with survey questions. Our respondents gave a response that women are more likely to be forced into gender stereotypes compared to men. And they also agrees that women are more of a victim to gender stereotypes compared to men. So basically, our hypothesis is accepted because society tends to put women into gender stereotypes more compared to men. It is happening in real world out there. And then the next research question is that how does gender stereotype shapes individual? Our hypothesis, if gender stereotyping carries on, then the society unable to shape an open-minded generation? To answer this question, we have another set of survey questions for our respondent to answer. Is the current generation encouraged to conform to gender stereotypes? And the response are, people agrees that based on gender stereotypes, they can have different perspective about the opposite genders. And also, people agree that the society are more narrow-minded because of these gender stereotypes. And also, our respondents disagree that our current generation are conform into gender stereotypes. I think this is because our respondents are mainly from 15 to 24 years old, which is teenagers to young adults. I think they are more accepting to these stereotypes. So I think based on our respondents' responses, our hypothesis seem to be accepted. So our third research question is, does gender stereotypes have any impact on one's career choice? Our hypothesis, gender stereotypes affect one's career choice. And this is our survey questions. So to answer that, our respondents gave this response, yes, gender stereotypes give an impact on one's career choice. And that is very true. It is happening out there. People tend to just not choose whatever that is out of their comfort zone, which is not good. And for the second and the third question, the respondents gave their answer yes to the question. So they are agreeing that they can work in a predominantly opposite genders occupation. So this survey question really supports our hypothesis. And I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bowen. We'll be taking a look at the conclusion and recommendations. So the first part of this topic is the summary of findings. So based on our findings, we can make some conclusions about the first hypothesis, which was women are subjected to more stereotypes compared to men in organizations. So based on our survey, 49.2% of the respondents think that women are very likely to be forced to gender stereotypes. So why is this the case? We can say that most people assume that the qualities believed to be required to succeed in jobs, for example, are not possessed by women. These qualities are usually achievement-oriented aggressiveness and emotional resilience. There is even research that following the promotion of 30,000 managers stipulates that promotion becomes increasingly hard for women as they advance in the organizational positions compared to men, according to Hellman 2012. Now we will take a look at the second stereotype, which was, if gender stereotyping carries on, then the society is unable to shape an open-minded generation. 88.7% of respondents assumed that our society was narrow-minded. So given that prejudice phenomena are based on prejudices in general and gender stereotypes in particular, the trend of findings obtained is likely to represent what happens in our society right now. This can be even seen based on a research article that says the choice of words we use to describe specific achievements for men or women are closely related to the stereotypical attributions we make for them. Now the next stereotype we can look at is that gender stereotypes affect one's career choice. 30% of our respondents are not sure or disagree on having an occupation that is dominated by the opposite gender. Men are also penalized for pursuing characters that are female-dominated. For example, in the movie Meet the Parents, it graphically depicts that choosing a female-dominated career such as nursing can have an unfortunate and harmful consequences for a man. Our research has also made a certain number of contributions. The first contribution is to the economic sector. The Malaysian workplace still shows a degree of prejudice towards women in male-dominated occupations. To counter this issue, the government will have to take action to promote new regulations to ensure fair opportunities. If this is not done, the companies themselves will see a disadvantage as a large number of potential talents are not being utilized. The next contribution is that we are able to assess the level of awareness among the public on the level of prevalence of this issue. Firstly, we can identify the social groups that are less acknowledging of this issue, which based on our research are those above 24 years old. This shows that there is an increasing conversation among the younger society to see a change in how genders are conformed to specific roles. It also shows that social media is a good platform for spreading awareness on this issue. Next, we can also give new information for the field of gender studies, which is a lesser known field. This research is able to provide data based on socio-demographic factors and their relation to their stance on gender stereotyping. Finally, we'll take a look at some of the recommendations based on our research. Firstly, based on research, we can say that it does not explicitly measure sexism or bias towards men and women. To counter this, we should test a causal link between the assumptions about men and women and prejudice against both sexes in future research. Secondly, we should experimentally introduce men and women to active female professionals, as doing so may increase perceived resemblance of female professionals Finally, non-student samples and real professionals should be used in prospective studies to see if the definition of a good professional is normative or conditioned by gender stereotypes. In general, when individuals refuse to acknowledge the existence of gender stereotypes and its impact in cultivating the lives of men and women, these stereotypical expectations will persist and remain unchanged. We are equally human and must work together to ensure that we are not subject to stereotypical thinking and gendered expectations. Thank you.